Hey guys, welcome to another top 10 list. Welcome to my top 10 favourite movies of 1997. 1997 is another fantastic year for movies, so yeah, you know how it goes. Let's do it. Top 10 personal favourite movies of 1987, and before top 10 lists, you've got to have your honourable mentions. The first honourable mention is Cats Don't Dance. Very good, underrated, animated musical film. I enjoy its story of these animals singing. Love the characters like Danny and Sawyer. Fun soundtrack of great songs. It's a fun film. Next honorable mention is Flubber. Very underrated Robin Williams movie where he plays this scientist who creates a flubber. Jenny Benson's also really good in it as the voice of the flying robot Weebo. I love this movie, it's a good time. Next is George of the Jungle. Always been a childhood favourite of mine. Great performances such as Brendan Fraser as George, Leslie Mann as Ursula Stanhope, and Thomas Hayden Church as the villain. It's a great story set in a jungle. Watch out for that tree. Fourth honourable mention is Tomorrow Never Dies. Another good James Bond film with Pierce Brosnan. Michelle Yeoh is also really good as Lynn, and who's another great Bond girl. Jonathan Pierce is also really good as a villain. It's a good one. Next up is The Lost World Jurassic Park. Very underrated sequel. Don't care what everyone else says about it. You're sure it's nowhere near as good as the first one, but it's still a good sequel for me. Next and lastly, the last honourable mention I want to talk about is Mouse Hunt. Another underrated film that I've always loved since I was a kid. Very funny black slapstick comedy film about two brothers in their struggle against one a small mouse for possession of a mansion which was willed to them by their father actually. Yeah, Nathan Lane, Christopher Walken, Elisa Bella, they're all great in this film. Anyways, great movies, almost made my top 10 list. But what did make my top 10 was my number 10, which is Men in Black. Talked about this film before, it's one of my favourite sci-fi films. Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones are both so fantastic in it as Agent J and Agent K. The alien designs are very cool. I think the sequels I enjoy despite what others say, but regardless of that. But the first film is definitely the best one. Love Men in Black. Coming at number 9 is Starship Troopers. Starship Troopers is a great sci-fi cult classic directed by Paul Hevian, who also directed RoboCop and Total Recall. It's a clever story with a smart message about the military and the government. Very cool special effects on the bugs also. Good performances also from Jake Busey, Neil Patrick Harris and Clancy Brown to name a few. It's a fantastic film with great ideas. Anyways, number 8 is Princess Mononoke. Definitely one of my favourite Studio Ghibli films and another one of my favourites from Hayao Miyazaki. Definitely one of his better films that's right up there with Spirited Away and I guess also Kiki's Delivery Service and others. But I love this movie. It's an amazing environment, has an amazing environmental story. The voice acting is fantastic, especially from Claire Danes, Minnie Driver, and Billy Bob Thornton. The way the message is executed is very well done. I love Princess Mononoke. It's one of my favourite Ghibli films. Number 7 is Anastasia. One of the best 20th Century Studios animated films, as one of my favourites from Don Bluth. I love the story as well as the songs such as Journey to the Past, Once Upon a December, and In the Dark of the Night. The animation is amazing. Love the characters like Anya, Anastasia herself, and also like Dimitri, the villain Rasputin, Bartok the Bat. I think the voice acting's good too, from Meg Ryan, John Cusack, Kelsey Grammer, Christopher Lloyd, Jim Cummins, and Hank Azaria, and Angela Lansbury. I've talked a lot about Anastasia, so yep, it's one of my favourites. Anyways, number 6 is Hercules, great Disney film. Love its story about a hero called Hercules who hopes to join the gods by proving that he can be a true hero. I think Hercules and Megara have good chemistry. I think Danny DeVito is enjoyable as TT's Phil. James Wood is brilliant as Hades, who is another one of my favourite Disney villains. The soundtrack has some awesome songs. It's a great film. Love Hercules. Coming to number 5 is The Fifth Element. A really good sci-fi action film. Bruce Willis, Gary Oldman, Ian Holm are also great in this film. The only flaw I have with this film, however, is Ruby Rhod. Yes, Chris Tucker is a funny actor, but his character is irritating in this film. But everything else about it's awesome. I enjoy its story about a taxi cab driver who finds out about the world's fate in his hands when a young woman called Lilo falls into his cab. Lilo herself is another badass female character in the film. I love it. Anyways, number 4 is Our Confidential. Fantastic cop film directed by Curtis Hanson. Great cast, like you got Kevin Spacey, Russell Crowe, Danny DeVito, James Cromwell, Guy Pearce, Kim Basinger, and Thomas Arana. I love its unique story about these police officers in the 50s, I think, trying to do the right thing during the police corruption. Amazing cinematography, great soundtrack, really good Jerry Goldsmith score. Definitely one of my favourites of '97. Anyways, number 3 is Air Force One. A really good action-adventure film with Harrison Ford as a fictional president who attempts to rescue everyone on board on his plane when a group of Russian terrorists hijack his plane. It's kind of like Die Hard, but on a plane, but has a different story. And I think Harrison Ford gives a very good performance. Gary Oldman is brilliant as the villain. Glenn Close also has a good supporting role in the film. The lines are also quotable, such as "Get off my plane." It's a good one, and sorry about that almost cough. Anyways, number 2 is Goodwill Hunting. A brilliant film with some of the best dialogue I've seen in the film, or any film for that matter. Matt Damon, Robin Williams, Ben Affleck, Stellan Skarsgård, and Minnie Driver are all fantastic in it. Gus Van Sant, the way he directed this film is also so good. It's got a great story about a 20-year-old janitor and math student who, after assaulting a police officer, he gains therapy and treatment from a therapist, and they talk about various subjects, like on the bench and all that. The way they do it is so excellent, and man, the scene where Robin Williams comforts Matt Damon saying, "It's not your fault," is a very touching scene, and yeah, I've watched Goodwill Hunting a while ago, definitely one of my favourites now. But my number 1 favourite movie of 1987 is Titanic. Of course, I mean, anytime people talk about 1987, Titanic comes to mind, and what can I say that many people haven't said about it already? It's one of the saddest but greatest love story films of all time. James Cameron did a fantastic job directing this film. Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet are incredible as Jack Dawson and Rose DeWitt Buckhater, who are like some of cinema's most iconic couples. James Horner's score is very well done. The Celine Dion song "My Heart Will Go On" is so beautiful that it brings tears to my eyes. And yep, it's Titanic. Everyone needs talked about it. So yeah, those are my top 10 favourite movies of 1997. So what are your top 10 favourite movies of 1997? Tell me down in the comments, and thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.